I have overcome the world. He said, my peace I give you, not as the world giveth. See, there is something on our inside, and we must raise men who can travel to touch the tangibility of those things. He said, rejoice. Again I say unto you, rejoice. Philippians chapter 4 verse 6. Not because there is abundance, but because there are spiritual technologies of routing the paths of Zion until you come to where him that is light dwells. He said, in all things by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving. He said, let your request be made unto God. Even when it doesn't answer, he said, the peace of God that surpasses knowledge. There is a peace that mind cannot understand. That's what we route in the spirit. But where's the generation that can find God in the midst of persecution? Where's the generation that can find God in the midst of lack? That although the fig tree may not blossom, the labor of the olive might fail, there may be no head in the yard, but I know something, that my God is the horn of my salvation. He will cause my feet to walk in my high places, for he has made my feet like the hinds feet. Nothing can break me, nothing can pull me down. I will rather suffer persecution for the name of the Lord than to compromise for the pleasures of this life. You know what the Bible said? It said when Moses was come of age, he refused to be called the son of Pharaoh's daughter, choosing rather to suffer affliction with the people of God than the pleasures of Egypt, which was for a season, for he saw him that was invincible. Where is that generation that has the stature to stand until they see him that dwells in the coals of fire? There's a program. Many will fall away, but by the mercies of God, a generation that will stand is rising, and you are part of that generation. An army without compromise is rising, and you are part of that army. I decree and declare, by the power of him that keeps us from falling, you will stand and shine in the midst of darkness.